Hi, everybody. How are you this Resurrection Sunday? May the Lord bless all of you and your families and keep you and bless and keep you. I just need to talk to you for a minute. I'm a prophet and the pastor, Don of Church on the Narrow Way. And I love every minute of being on the narrow way. I pray that your church is also on the narrow way. So I want to make a point, but I'm making several videos, but I don't want to speak long. That way you can get more in of the videos that I'm presenting to you. But today, I have something in my spirit that I want to share with you. I want to talk about with you why people don't like it when you talk about their bishops or their pastors. That's just the way. And I understand it. They're really nice guys. I mean, they are. I see my pastor, my bishop, or another pastor. I have so many pastors and friends. I love them. Oh God, you're just so good to see them and talk to them. Hey man, how you doing? Da, 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 da. But we're struggling with some things, and we're not seeing some things eye to eye. And so there's this thing about prophets and pastors not getting along. We there's this thing where pastors don't like prophecy. The pastors have the churches, and the prophets gotta need to be invited to come and speak. But a lot of time that's not going to happen because pastors don't generally like the prophets because they don't understand prophecy. Bishop does not understand prophets or Bible prophecy. When was the last time you heard your bishop or your pastor preach on Bible prophecy? You haven't heard it. They just mention a prophet in just passing in the scriptures, but they don't know. They don't know. They don't know what this virus is. They don't know any of this stuff. They don't know how to answer half or what's going on, but the prophets do. Those fivefold ministries are real. That is why they don't know. But God's will is that we work in unity and figure out what's really going on. And you take a turn and let so-and-so speak. If you don't have the answer, I have no problem stepping back because the number one call as a prophet is humility. It's about being humble for the prophet. But when God's people are in trouble, God has assigned and commissioned that prophet to go tell. Don't worry about somebody talking about you. Don't worry about the way they roll their eyes at you. And that's the way I feel about this thing. This stuff is very serious, and you see what's happening. So when I say and in the churches, prophets have to speak to what God has spoken to us to say. It has to come from God to us to you. And you think maybe that's the same with the pastors. There's a difference there. God is sending the prophets because something is going wrong. The nation is going in the wrong direction. Let me say that. And under the leadership of the bishops and the pastors in the country, the church is going in the wrong direction, and God is angry. So that is why the virus is here. I pray that God would send something. I hate it because I'm upset about it because I'm not happy. Nobody is when you give people a word and they don't listen because other guys prophesied that viruses and all kinds of things were coming before another news reports and things years ago. But despite the fact that these things had to happen so that you could see it for yourself, some of y'all don't like prophets. Some of you members of your churches don't like prophets if they don't agree with your bishop. You don't agree with bishop. But me, I've always loved them. But I think they need to, the pastors and the preachers overall, you need to kind of connect and talk to. We need to have a conversation, which may and may not happen. But there's nothing. But I'm saying all of this to say, you got to think in terms of that's not good. If the prophets and the pastors are not getting along, that if we don't work together, okay, what can I say? A lot of times pastors like to invite people to come invite prophets to come to their church only if the prophet has some nice, good, wonderful word. He's going to bless everybody and he's going to show them what God has said, and people going to stand up and clap because he's throwing out blessings and he has prosperity. Peace, or something, and great things are going to happen for the church. That's the only kind of prophet that's going to be invited to churches. So let me just read this scripture so I don't be so long. In Amos 7, verse 10, maybe this will help you. It says, then Amaziah, the priest, and let me say, the reason I paused was something hit my spirit, and the Lord said, stop calling your pastor a prophet if he's not. Stop calling your bishop a pastor. Your bishop a prophet if he's not a prophet. Everybody's, my pastor. Yeah, he a prophet too, girl. He a prophet. No, he's not. I'm a pastor and a prophet, but a lady called me a bishop one time. I said, I am not a bishop. This, but you calling them names no, they're not. And that's wrong. This is why I say you members are some of the culprits that God is angry at. Because you're worshiping these preachers and God's angry. Let me go back to the text so I can get this done. 10. So Amaziah the priest of Bethel sent to Jeroboam, king of Israel, saying, Amos has conspired against you in the midst of the house of Israel. He's telling the king that the prophet is saying some stuff about you just like you do. You run back and tell, Bishop, he says, okay. The land is not able to hear his words, king. He's saying some stuff, and you need to deal with this cat. He's, just like all John the Baptist and all the prophets, this is nothing unusual. This is why prophets and pastors and prophets don't get along unless we say what the pastor wants us to say. So that's why prophets can't preach everywhere. But if we can come in unity, okay? So the word goes on to say, for Amos said, and this is what Amos said to the priest, Amaziah. I'm sorry, let me take that back. For thus Amos has said, he's telling what Amos has said. Amos said this to the about the king Jeroboam. Jeroboam shall die by the sword, and Israel shall surely be led away captive from their own land. That don't sound good. You see what he's saying out there? Do you get him? But did God tell Amos to say that? Yes. That's where the people come in. That's where you mess up everything. This is the Lord's house, and nothing can come before this house. No weapon formed against. See, you, the members, it's a thing about you members. You're causing a lot of this judgment that's coming on our nation. Just as well, but your pastor is the leader, and it's falling on everyone. Jeroboam shall die by the sword, and Israel shall surely be led captive from their own land. Then Amaziah said to Amos, go, you seer, flee to the land of Judah. Go there and eat bread, and go there and prophesy, but never again prophesy at Bethel. For it is the king's sanctuary, and it is the royal residence. Why don't you get on out of here? You see, that's what people think of prophets today that don't sound like you want them to sound with the pastor or the bishop. That's not the calling. God has sent him. He sees something to warn the pastor, to warn the bishop, to warn the pastor, to warn the bishop. And I know some good bishops and some good pastors. My prayer is that we can get together at some point and we can, as they say, talk about this thing. That is my prayer. No, really, it's seriously. In verse 12, then Amaziah said to Amos, Amaziah said to Amos, I just read that one in verse 14. Then Amos answered and said back to Amaziah, listen, I was no prophet at all from the beginning anyway. They say paraphrasing, but they said I was no prophet, nor was I the son of a prophet, but I was a sheep breeder and a tender of sycamore trees, or sycamore fruit. Then the Lord took me as I followed the flock, and the Lord said to me, go, prophesy to my people Israel. Now therefore, hear the word of the Lord. You say, Do not prophesy against Israel. See, he's talking to Amaziah the priest. You saying, do not prophesy to Israel, and do not spout against the house of Isaac. See, so there's a clash between the priest. See, so, all right. It frustrates the prophet. It's frustrating. You don't understand. Nobody wants to get in conflict with anybody. We all, it's easy to say nothing, but you can't do that as a prophet. So we try to the Bible says, tell the truth in love. Tell the truth in love. So that's the message today. If you don't get nothing else, understand that priests and prophets are not seriously getting along, and your bishop could be misleading you. And that's what's happening anyway with those sermons of, you praising him and he's praising you, and you're praising him and he's praising you, and y'all just having a good time. And, oh, you did so good, girl, y'all, all this shit. And you're not getting anywhere. You're learning nothing. As again to say, the pastor and the bishop, they don't know anything about Bible prophecy. They don't know what's going on with this virus. They don't know why it's here. Everybody's heard about the Exodus. Stay in the house. Stay in the house. Okay, we get that. Everybody's saying that. We get that. There's more to it than that. So, take care. But I have to say this last thing to you in terms of prophecy. We're not going to get along. Some of us are. Some of us aren't. And it's going to be few because it's the narrow way. But overall, we've been speaking unity for years, especially in the black church. It's just talk. Nobody's serious. When you see a priest and a prophet getting along, consider it a miracle. God bless. Listen, God take care of it. I'm going to come back. We got to talk about this stuff some more. I just didn't want to talk too long. Okay? Listen, God bless. Take care. Take care of yourself and your families. Bye now.